Chosen one, stop scrolling immediately. This is not the algorithm bringing you here. This is an urgent, divine interception. God has personally routed this exact message to your screen today because every other sign was blocked by the enemy. The dark forces have been working overtime to keep you distracted and exhausted. But their time is officially up. You have to listen carefully to what I am about to tell you. There is a reason your spirit has been so restless lately. There is a reason you wake up tired, even after a full night of sleep. The heavy spiritual attacks you have been facing recently are not random at all. They are hard proof that the enemy is panicking. Why are they so terrified of you right now? Because a massive shift has just occurred in the spiritual realm. Your season of waiting and hiding in the shadows is completely over. Just moments ago, a divine scroll with your name on it was unsealed in the heavenly courts. Your true assignment has officially begun. Think back to the last few weeks of your life. You have felt an unusual weight on your shoulders that nobody else can see. Friends and family might think you are just stressed or working too hard. But you and I both know the truth goes much deeper than that. You are in the middle of a brutal spiritual war. The enemy tried to break your mind. They sent toxic people into your life to drain your pure energy. They created situations meant to make you doubt your own sanity and your divine purpose. But heaven was watching every single move they made. God did not abandon you in that dark valley. He was standing right beside you with a drawn sword. This is the ultimate secret the darkness desperately wants to hide from you today. If you leave this video now, you will shut the door on the exact revelation your soul is crying out for. You will miss the physical key you need to unlock the next chapter of your life. Do not take your eyes off this screen. I need you to stay locked on this message until the very end. The enemy wants you to swipe away and go back to mindless scrolling. They want you to stay stuck in a cycle of confusion and spiritual fatigue. But you are a warrior of light, and you do not surrender to fear. You were chosen for a time exactly like this. Before we go any further, take one slow breath. Feel the air filling your lungs and know that you are safe here. You survived the worst storms alone when everyone else walked away from you. The isolation you felt was not a punishment from the universe. It was a rigorous training camp designed to build your spiritual muscles. They thought they could bury you under the weight of rejection and loneliness. They thought you would eventually give up on your calling and blend in to forget your true power. But they severely underestimated the fire that God placed inside your spirit. The pressure did not crush you. It turned you into an unbreakable vessel of light. Now your presence alone shifts the atmosphere in every room you enter. The same people who ignored your texts and drained your energy are suddenly feeling incredibly uncomfortable around you. They sense the raw power radiating from your aura, and it terrifies them. Your silence has become a weapon that cuts through their lies. But there is a specific reason why the attacks suddenly spiked in intensity recently. The enemy forces have access to spiritual intelligence. They can see the massive blessings that are currently heading toward your timeline. They know that once you step into this new assignment, you will become completely untouchable forever. That is exactly why they are throwing every possible distraction at you right now. They want to delay your victory because they know they cannot stop it. But heaven has a brilliant countermeasure prepared just for you. God is actively fighting beside you, and He is about to expose every hidden trap set on your path. You must truly understand the magnitude of what is happening in the unseen world. Divine angels have been dispatched to clear the heavy roadblocks that held you back for so many years. The chains of generational trauma are breaking off your bloodline at this very second. You are the strong cycle breaker your ancestors prayed for. Do not let anyone convince you that your high standards are a flaw. You require deep connections because your soul operates on a much higher frequency than most people. God had to ruthlessly remove those counterfeit relationships from your life. He was making room for the divine connections that are marching toward you now. This is not just another motivational speech to make you feel good for 5 minutes. This is a divine mandate, delivered straight from the heavenly courts to your ears. You have been drafted into a spiritual army, and your rank has just been elevated. The universe trusts you with this massive responsibility for a profound reason. Stay with me, because the final piece of this puzzle will change how you walk forever. I am going to reveal the exact fatal trap the darkness is laying right now to sabotage your new beginning. If you miss this warning, you might accidentally invite the enemy back into your sacred space. Listen closely and prepare your spirit. Listen to me very carefully right now. You are absolutely not crazy for feeling this way. The extreme exhaustion you feel in your heavy bones is incredibly real. And it is not happening because you are failing to take proper care of your physical body. Your body is physically reacting to an intense, invisible war. The deep fatigue is the direct result of blocking dark energy. Think about those long and restless recent nights. You wake up suddenly at 3 in the morning. Your heart is racing incredibly fast for no apparent reason. Your mind feels completely overwhelmed with racing thoughts. People will tell you it is just common stress, but your spirit is literally being jolted awake because heaven is desperately trying to get your attention. You walk around with a heavy block in your chest. It feels like you are carrying the massive weight of the entire world on your tired shoulders. You try your absolute best to smile warmly for the broken people around you. You blindly push through the agonizing pain. But the moment you are finally alone in your quiet room, you completely collapse onto the cold floor. You cry silent tears because the daily pressure is just too much to handle. God sees every single tear you shed. There is a very specific reason why you feel so deeply drained right now. Why does your pure energy vanish the second certain people enter the room? You need to pay very close attention to this next part. This bizarre phenomenon is a massive clue. The universe is physically showing you who belongs in your bright future and who is secretly feeding off your sacred light. Your physical body is acting like a highly sensitive spiritual compass. You have always been the exceptionally strong one. You are the dependable person everyone else runs to when their messy lives completely fall apart into pieces. You patiently listen to all of their endless problems. You pour your pure healing energy right into their deeply broken souls. And they selfishly take your precious light without ever giving a single ounce of love back in return. They leave you completely empty while they walk away feeling perfectly healed. This wildly unfair and exhausting cycle stops today. Stop blaming yourself for feeling this incredibly tired. Stop telling your own heart that you need to try harder. The toxic positivity of this modern world was designed to keep you trapped in a vicious cycle of endless giving. You were heavily taught that setting strict boundaries makes you a terrible person, but heaven boldly says that boundaries are mandatory. You cannot pour fresh water from a completely empty cup. If you feel this exact exhaustion deep in your spirit right now, I need you to do something physical for me. Tap the like button as an act of powerful agreement with what God just spoke to you. This simple action boldly tells the universe, you are truly ready to stop bleeding your precious energy today. It is finally time to close the heavy doors that are aggressively draining your life force. You are officially taking your sacred power back from the toxic people who stole it. Notice how your tight circle of friends has suddenly become very small. People you thought would faithfully remain in your life forever have completely vanished into thin air overnight. Some of them ruthlessly ghosted you without a single word. Others started acting incredibly strange and wildly hostile toward you for no logical reason at all. You deeply felt a sharp sting of rejection when they carelessly turned their backs on you. But you are looking at this painful situation the wrong way. That brutal rejection was a massive blessing. It was absolutely not a harsh punishment for being inadequate. It was actually the highest possible form of divine protection from the heavenly realms. God clearly heard the wicked conversations they were having about you behind closed doors. He clearly saw the secret jealousy burning deep in their dark hearts when you were not looking. He protected you fiercely from them. He deliberately orchestrated their sudden exit from your timeline before they could poison your new assignment. You do not have to carry the emotional garbage of the broken world anymore. The intense spiritual warfare you miraculously survived was never meant to destroy your beautiful soul. It was a brutal but necessary initiation process designed to upgrade you. And before this divine message ends, you will clearly understand exactly why heaven had to isolate you so severely in the dark while your enemies prospered in the light. Take another slow and deep breath right now. Let the heavy burden completely fall off your tired shoulders. Your glorious season of profound healing begins now. You spent the last few years feeling entirely disconnected from the rest of the world. You sit in crowded rooms and feel completely alone. People speak to you, but their words sound incredibly hollow. And even when you try your hardest to blend in, the heavy sadness slowly creeps in before the night is even over. You wonder if your mind is broken. The heavy isolation you experienced was never meant to be a permanent prison. It was a highly necessary divine quarantine. Heaven had to drastically separate you from the infectious low vibrations of your old environment. You were constantly absorbing too much toxic garbage from the bitter people who secretly wanted to see you fail. God saw their hidden intentions very clearly. That is the exact answer to the question you have been asking yourself for months. Why did you constantly feel so entirely drained of life? Because you were a high-value target for the enemy. Your pure light was a massive threat to the comfortable darkness they lived in, so they constantly attacked your fragile energy field to keep you weak. But the profound isolation you hated so much was actually your absolute salvation. When everyone else suddenly stopped calling you, a powerful invisible shield went up around your spirit. The deep silence in your empty room was the glorious sound of heavy chains breaking. You were being safely unplugged from a matrix of endless emotional abuse and brutal spiritual warfare. Take a moment to really process this massive revelation today. You did not lose your close friends or your old career because you are a terrible failure. The universe intentionally stripped those comfortable things away to save your beautiful life. They were heavy anchors dragging you straight down to the bottom of the dark ocean, and God had to forcefully cut the heavy ropes. You are a chosen one with a remarkably rare spiritual blueprint. This simply means you cannot operate like normal people do in this superficial reality. You cannot engage in petty drama without feeling incredibly sick to your stomach. You cannot tolerate surface-level conversations because your ancient soul craves absolute depth. The ordinary world feels like toxic poison to your spiritual veins. Because you are so incredibly different, you tried very hard to shrink yourself. You desperately tried to fit into tight boxes that were always way too small for your massive spirit. You sincerely apologized for your intense feelings, and you hid your beautiful gifts. You thought making yourself smaller would finally make them love you, but it only made you entirely sick. Stop apologizing for the immense power you carry inside your heavy bones. Your intense emotional sensitivity is not a mental flaw that needs to be urgently fixed. It is a highly advanced spiritual radar system protecting your destiny. You can easily detect a bold lie before a person even finishes their sentence. You can feel the heavy shifting of energy in a closed room. The enemy knew exactly how powerful your natural intuition really was. That is precisely why they sent master manipulators directly into your fragile life. They wanted you to constantly doubt your own sharp mind every single day. They wanted you to completely ignore the loud alarm bells ringing in your pure heart. But their wicked plan totally failed in the end. You survived the darkest nights of the soul entirely on your own. You sat patiently with your deeply broken pieces, and you slowly put yourself back together. No one else came to save you from the burning fire. You became your own fierce protector, and in doing so you activated a level of spiritual authority that completely terrifies the dark forces today. Your past pain was actually a rigorous masterclass in elite spiritual warfare. Every bitter tear you cried in secret was actively washing away your old naive mindset. You are no longer the fragile empath who constantly begged to be understood by blind people. You have gracefully transformed into a formidable weapon of blinding light. The brutal crucible of pain successfully forged your new identity. You must fully embrace this glorious new era of quiet authority right now. The exhausting time for foolishly explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you is officially over. You do not need their fragile validation to confidently walk in your divine purpose. Your calling was issued directly by the supreme creator of the universe. No human opinion can ever revoke your sacred assignment. When you finally understand this profound truth, everything in your reality suddenly shifts. The heavy anxiety in your tired chest begins to gently melt away into pure peace. You finally stop aggressively fighting the natural flow of your solitary life. You finally realize that your lonely path is actually paving the way for massive generational wealth and deep spiritual freedom. You are currently standing at the exact edge of a breathtaking new reality today. But the panicked enemy is quickly preparing one final desperate trick to pull you backward. They clearly know they have officially lost all control over your newly awakened mind. So they are going to ruthlessly try and attack your physical reality instead. Pay very close attention to what I reveal next. Listen carefully to what is happening behind the scenes of your life. The heavy spiritual warfare has reached an entirely new level of extreme intensity recently. You feel the heavy attacks coming from absolutely every direction, and your physical body feels incredibly exhausted every single day. But this sudden chaos is definitely not a sign of your defeat. It is a sign of their panic. The dark forces operating in the unseen realm are watching your spiritual timeline. They can clearly see the massive breakthrough that is rapidly approaching your life today. They know that your prolonged season of waiting is finally coming to a glorious end, and because they cannot stop the divine blessing from arriving, they are desperately trying to destroy your peaceful mind instead. This is exactly why your daily reality feels so incredibly chaotic right now. Everything you try to do suddenly encounters a strange and frustrating obstacle today. Your finances might take a sudden hit for absolutely no logical reason. Your electronic devices break down randomly, and people around you starting petty arguments over absolutely nothing important. Do not let this loud noise fool your highly sensitive spirit today. The enemy is aggressively shaking your external world to distract you from your internal power. They want you to firmly believe that you are totally cursed and entirely forgotten. But their pathetic illusion is completely falling apart right before your very eyes, and you can clearly see right through their shallow tricks. You are no longer reacting to their petty games with deep emotional pain. In the past, a harsh word or a sudden rejection would completely shatter your heart. You would spend countless hours agonizing over what you did wrong to them. But something different is happening inside your mind during this massive spiritual upgrade, and you simply do not care anymore. That beautiful apathy you feel right now is actually your divine shield activating. It is the glorious manifestation of your new quiet authority taking full control today. They desperately want your angry reaction because your raw emotion actively feeds their empty souls. But your profound silence is starving them out of existence, and your unshakable peace is completely destroying their dark agenda. This is the profound power of a true master of reality. You have fully realized that you do not need to fight every battle they present. You just have to stand incredibly still and let heaven handle your wicked enemies. God is forcefully turning their evil traps into footstools for your rising feet, and every single curse they spoke is returning directly to them. But you must remain entirely vigilant as you navigate this final critical stretch. The enemy knows they have lost their powerful grip on your beautiful mind. So they are resorting to one final desperate trick to delay your divine assignment. There is a massive trap being set right before your final breakthrough, and I need you to understand this specific mechanism completely. If you fall for this specific illusion, you will accidentally reset the entire clock. The universe will have to painfully repeat the brutal lesson all over again. Type 111 down in the comments to claim this powerful alignment right now. By typing this simple number, you boldly declare your absolute readiness to defeat their final dark test, and you lock your protective shield in place. You are vibrating at a totally different frequency than the rest of the world. Your spiritual eyes are wide open to the hidden realities entirely surrounding you today. You can clearly see the desperate moves the darkness is making to keep you poor, but they are completely powerless against the blinding light radiating from your pure soul, and you are officially untouchable. The narcissists who previously fed on your energy are now wandering in the dark. They have absolutely no access to your vibrant life force anymore. God has severely cut their heavy cords and banished them from your sacred kingdom. They are slowly realizing the massive mistake they made by crossing a chosen one, and they will fiercely regret losing your pure light forever. This is not about brutal revenge or holding toxic anger in your pure heart. This is about deep spiritual justice and divine balancing of the cosmic scales. You suffered entirely in silence while they openly celebrated their wicked temporary victories. But the tables have forcefully turned right now, and heaven is actively preparing a massive feast in your honor today. You do not have to lift a single finger to defend your righteous name. The creator of the entire universe is your personal defense attorney right now. He is actively clearing your damaged reputation and restoring everything they stole from you. Your only job is to stand entirely firm and boldly hold your elevated position, so you must never step down to their low level. You are the bold cycle breaker that your family line was desperately waiting for. The generational curses stop with you, right here and right now. You boldly endured the brutal fire, so your future children would never have to burn. That makes you a glorious hero in the unseen realms, where true power actually exists, and the angels loudly applaud your incredible strength. Heaven is actively rearranging your entire reality, while you patiently sleep at night. God is forcefully removing the heavy obstacles that blocked your path for years. The closed doors that frustrated you deeply are about to blow completely off their hinges, and the divine connections you have desperately prayed for are rapidly marching toward your current timeline. You are about to witness a massive manifestation of pure divine favor today. But you have to completely understand exactly how this massive intervention actually works. God does not usually shout his massive plans loudly from the bright sky. He speaks to you gently through incredibly subtle signs and profound synchronicities. You must keep your spiritual eyes completely open right now. Have you noticed a sudden massive increase in repeating numbers lately? You constantly see 1, 1, 1, or 7, 7, 7 everywhere you casually look. You hear a specific random song that perfectly answers the heavy question in your mind. These are definitely not random coincidences meant to simply amuse you. These are highly strategic divine breadcrumbs leading you directly to your massive breakthrough. The universe is constantly winking at you to confirm you are on the right path. Your pure intuition has never been sharper than it is in this exact moment. When you meet someone new, you instantly know their true hidden intentions. You can literally feel the heavy shift in their dark energy before they even open their mouth to speak. Do not ignore your sharp gut feeling. Your physical body is a highly advanced instrument, constantly receiving divine transmissions today. When your chest suddenly tightens around a specific person, that is a divine warning. When you suddenly feel a deep sense of total peace, That is a divine confirmation. You have to fully trust the profound physical sensations God gave you, because they are protecting your sacred assignment. God is constantly fighting beside you in every single unseen battle today. Every time you bravely chose silence over petty drama, heaven fought for you. Every time you chose to walk away from a toxic argument, angels stepped into the heavy void. You thought you were totally alone in those dark, lonely moments, but you were heavily flanked by an entire army of blinding light. This is exactly why your enemies always end up completely destroying themselves eventually. You do not even have to actively plot against them to ensure their total downfall. Their own wicked darkness totally consumes them because they stubbornly try to fight God's chosen one. They are blindly fighting a massive spiritual war. They have absolutely no chance of ever winning today. You simply have to maintain your high frequency and entirely ignore their petty distractions. The enemy desperately wants you to drop your vibration and fight in the mud. They know they can only defeat you if you willingly step down to their low level, but your powerful, quiet authority keeps you safely elevated above their toxic reach, and they cannot touch your beautiful mind anymore. This is the profound reason why you must fiercely protect your pure energy right now. You are currently carrying a massive payload of divine light meant for a specific purpose. You cannot carelessly hand your precious energy out to everyone who demands it today. You must firmly set aggressive boundaries around your time and your sacred emotional space, because your assignment requires your full strength. The waiting season you just endured forcefully burned away all of your people-pleasing habits. You finally learned the hard way that you cannot save everyone around you. Some people are deeply committed to remaining completely stuck in their own comfortable misery. You have to peacefully let them go so you can freely step into your glorious new destiny without heavy baggage. You are being divinely repositioned for a massive upgrade in your physical life. God is preparing to heavily pour unprecedented favor out onto your empty hands. But your hands must be completely empty of the heavy past before you can safely receive it. You cannot firmly hold onto toxic history and effectively grasp your glorious future at the exact same time. It is time to fully release the heavy grudges you have been quietly carrying inside. Not because those toxic people truly deserve your pure forgiveness today, but entirely because you deeply deserve absolute peace in your beautiful heart. Holding on to bitter anger is like willingly drinking dark poison and waiting for your wicked enemy to die. Spit the toxic poison out right now. Your profound assignment requires a completely clear channel to clearly hear divine instructions. As you bravely release the heavy past, you will suddenly feel incredibly light. The chronic physical pain in your tired body will miraculously begin to completely fade away. This is the glorious physical manifestation of total spiritual liberation, and it is actively happening to your pure soul right now. Type the word Amen down in the comments to physically claim this divine healing today. By taking this small physical action, you boldly declare that you are fully ready. You are totally ready to leave the heavy darkness behind and step entirely into the blinding light. The ultimate breakthrough is standing right outside your front door right now. Prepare your sacred space. The atmosphere around you is shifting rapidly right now. You can literally feel the heavy static electricity in the air today. Something massive is preparing to finally break through the heavy clouds hovering above you. And while your tired mind might try to convince you this is just a wild imagination, your spirit knows that God is currently aligning the final pieces of your glorious destiny behind closed doors. The most obvious sign of this impending miracle is your sudden intolerance for fake behavior. In the past, you would politely nod and patiently listen to their shallow lies. You would force a warm smile just to keep the fragile peace in the room. But because your frequency has elevated so drastically in the last few weeks, your physical body now completely rejects their toxic presence and makes you feel nauseous when they speak. This intense physical reaction is an undeniable sign of your massive spiritual upgrade. You are no longer compatible with the heavy matrix of manipulation and deceit. Heaven has permanently rewired your delicate nervous system for absolute greatness. You are officially immune to their pathetic gaslighting tactics right now, and the dark forces can no longer use guilt to force you back into their invisible cages. But before you can fully step into your ultimate assignment, one final purge must happen. The universe requires absolute proof of your fierce loyalty to your own soul. You must violently cut the last remaining cords, connecting you to the dark narcissists. There can be absolutely no lingering emotional attachments to the selfish people who actively tried to destroy your beautiful mind while pretending to be your closest friends. They will desperately try to crawl back into your peaceful life right before the breakthrough. They will suddenly send you a casual text message pretending that nothing bad ever happened. They will offer a completely fake apology just to secretly test the absolute strength of your new boundaries. This is the exact fatal trap I urgently warned you about earlier, and you must protect your sacred energy by refusing to engage with their pathetic illusions today. If you reply to their toxic message, you are signaling to heaven that you are not ready. You are loudly telling the universe that you still crave their familiar poison. But if you bravely choose silence, you instantly pass the ultimate test. Your complete silence is the final key that permanently unlocks the massive vault of divine favor, because it proves you have fully mastered the art of letting go. You have to fiercely protect your sacred space with absolute zero apologies. If they angrily label you as cold or heartless, let them completely believe that shallow lie. Their fragile opinion of your boundary has absolutely no power over your divine assignment. Let them comfortably sit in the dark confusion of your sudden absence while you peacefully march forward into the glorious new chapter of your abundant life without them. This brutal final cut is incredibly painful, but completely necessary for your survival. Think of it as surgically removing a deeply infected wound from your physical body. It hurts intensely for a brief moment, but it ultimately saves your entire life. The toxic people leaving your life right now are simply making room for the absolute miracles rushing toward you. So you must bravely embrace the profound emptiness today. You are actively creating a massive vacuum in your spiritual atmosphere right now. And the universe absolutely hates an empty vacuum, so it rushes to fill it with pure light. As you confidently remove the heavy darkness, divine wealth and deep peace will immediately flood in. You are about to experience a season of unprecedented harvest for all the silent tears you bravely cried in secret when you thought no one was watching your pain. Every single thing they ruthlessly stole from you is being returned with massive interest. The profound joy they drained from your soul is flowing back into your heavy bones. The precious time you wasted trying to heal their brokenness is being magically restored today. God is actively turning back the massive clock to give you the beautiful years the wicked locusts forcefully ate while you were faithfully serving those who only abused you. But you must completely surrender your tight grip on the painful past right now. You cannot effectively pilot this massive new ship if you are still looking backward at the burning dock. Turn your eyes firmly forward and never look back at the dark shadows again. The people who were meant to journey with you are already waiting at the next elevated destination, and they will fully understand your ancient soul without needing any exhausting explanations. Listen closely as the divine trumpet begins to sound in the spiritual realm today. Your specific name is currently being called out loudly in the high heavenly courts. The intense preparation phase is completely over, and the active mission is starting right now. Are you truly ready to firmly step into the glorious light and boldly claim your rightful throne, while your defeated enemies watch your incredible rise from the dusty ground. Your heart might be beating incredibly fast in your chest right now. That is just your spirit recognizing the undeniable absolute truth vibrating in these exact words. You have successfully navigated the darkest maze in the entire universe, completely blindfolded. You trusted the gentle whispers of God when the loud world told you to logically give up, and that profound blind faith has officially saved your beautiful soul today. Now it is time to fully open your spiritual eyes and clearly see your massive reward. The heavy chains are completely shattered, and the iron doors are flying wide open today. Step boldly into the massive room that heaven prepared specifically for you, and do not ever shrink yourself down again to make weak people comfortable in your glorious presence. The moment you have been waiting for has finally arrived. The long season of brutal weeping is officially over today. Heaven is literally pulling back the heavy curtains on the grand stage of your life right now. The heavy darkness that tried to desperately drown your beautiful soul has completely failed. You survived the brutal fire, and now you boldly command the burning flames, because heaven gave you absolute authority. Remember the massive secret assignment I mentioned at the very beginning of this message? It is time to fully reveal the profound truth about your divine calling today. Your ultimate assignment was never just about surviving the relentless attacks of toxic narcissists. Your true assignment is to completely break the wicked generational curses that plagued your entire bloodline for centuries. You were specifically chosen to be the powerful anchor of light for your entire family tree. Before you were even born, heaven knew you were the only one strong enough to carry this massive weight. You had to experience the deepest pain so you could learn how to permanently destroy it. Every brutal rejection you faced was actually a rigorous training session for this exact glorious moment. Look closely at the incredibly powerful person you have become today. You are no longer the fragile empath who constantly begged to be understood by blind people. The brutal crucible of pain has successfully forged you into the untouchable master of your reality. From this exact moment on, your fierce energy demands absolute respect without a single word being spoken from your mouth. The enemy knows that your divine upgrade is completely irreversible now. That is exactly why they threw everything they had at you during these last few weeks. They desperately tried to blind you with chaotic distractions right before the glorious finish line. But you bravely saw right through their pathetic illusions, and you fiercely held your sacred ground in the dark while they panicked. Now the massive floodgates of divine wealth and profound peace are aggressively bursting open for you. The universe is actively transferring immense blessings directly into your current timeline. You do not have to struggle or physically fight for your daily survival anymore. The difficult season of constant lack and heavy exhaustion has been permanently deleted from your spiritual record today. Step fully into the breathtaking reality of your new divine kingdom. Every closed door is blowing completely off its hinges right now. Can you feel that massive shift deep in your heavy spirit today? That is the glorious frequency of absolute victory vibrating powerfully through your physical body. You are finally stepping into the exact timeline you were originally born to, proudly rule with immense power. You do not even have to speak to shift the heavy atmosphere anymore. Your pure presence alone is incredibly terrifying to the dark forces hiding in the shadows. They wrongly thought your peaceful silence was a sign of pathetic weakness. But they eventually realized that your profound silence was actually the most dangerous weapon in the entire universe. And they are absolutely terrified of you now. And that fatal trap I urgently warned you about earlier, it is officially powerless against you now. When the toxic counterfeits try to return to your peaceful life, you will not even flinch. You will simply watch them desperately knock on a heavy iron door that will never open for them again. Your sacred kingdom is completely sealed off from their draining demonic energy forever. Let the glorious feeling of total liberation completely wash over your tired body right now. You have officially passed the hardest spiritual test in the history of your entire bloodline. The divine angels are loudly blowing the trumpets of massive victory in your honor today. God is personally placing the heavy crown of absolute authority onto your head while your enemies watch in total disbelief. The pitch-black darkness has permanently retreated entirely behind you. The bright dawn of a glorious new era is shining its warmest rays directly onto your spiritual crown. You are literally vibrating at the highest possible frequency a human soul can achieve on this earth. But you must take one final step to permanently lock this massive blessing into your physical reality today. The enemy will try to steal this glorious feeling the second you look away. They desperately want you to slowly forget the profound power that was just activated inside your spirit today. You cannot let them scrub this powerful frequency from your newly awakened mind. You must actively seal this beautiful new reality right now before the wicked darkness tries to creep back in through the cracks. This is absolutely not the time to be shy or quietly hide your blinding light. Heaven requires a bold physical action to officially register your total agreement with this massive divine decree. Prepare your pure heart to boldly make the most important declaration of your entire life. The universe is eagerly waiting for your final signature on this glorious spiritual contract of immense wealth. God has officially spoken his final decree over your life today. The heavy chains are completely broken. You feel the massive shift. And now, you must actively seal this glorious frequency into your daily life before you walk away from this sacred moment. Do not let this powerful energy just fade away into the busy noise of the ordinary world. The enemy will desperately try to sneak back into your mind. They absolutely hate your new power. They want to slowly drain the immense joy you are feeling right now, in this exact moment. You cannot let them win this final battle. You must build a massive, energetic wall around your pure soul today. The universe demands a firm physical action from you. This is not just about watching a simple video on the internet. This is a profound spiritual transaction taking place in real time. Your highly sensitive soul was violently dragged through the thick mud for years. And now, heaven is urgently requiring you to formally accept your massive divine compensation. You must physically claim your righteous territory. Hit subscribe to establish a divine energy receiving station right now. This is absolutely not about building a meaningless earthly audience today. It is about firmly locking your pure spirit into a highly protected frequency grid. Every single time you return to this specific space, your spiritual shield grows infinitely stronger against their dark attacks. Take a slow look at how incredibly far you have actually come. You survived the brutal storms. You walked through the dark valley alone. And now you are proudly standing on the highest mountain peak with the absolute power of the universe behind you. Your wicked enemies are looking up from the dirty valley in total absolute shock today. But being a true chosen one comes with a profound cosmic duty. You cannot quietly hoard this massive blessing all to yourself. The pure light inside you was specifically designed to violently shatter the heavy darkness for other completely lost souls too. You have to shine your glorious light incredibly bright so others can easily find their way home. There is a tired soul out there bleeding in the dark today. They are crying in secret. They desperately need a guiding light. Share this message with someone who truly needs it, to forcefully multiply your own divine blessing right now. Sowing the seed of pure hope today absolutely guarantees your own massive harvest of miracles tomorrow. The dark forces absolutely hate when chosen ones connect with each other. They desperately want to keep you completely isolated and falsely believing you are crazy. Because when two awake warriors unite their pure energy, The resulting explosion of light completely destroys demonic strongholds instantly. Do not stay quietly hidden in the dark shadows anymore. Take a very deep breath right now. Let this absolute truth settle deep inside your heavy bones. Type the word Amen down in the comments to officially seal this breathtaking reality into your physical timeline today. Your bold public declaration is a sharp spiritual sword cutting entirely through their pathetic lies and permanently ending their weak control. Tomorrow morning will feel entirely different when you wake up. You will feel completely refreshed. The heavy, crushing weight is permanently gone. You will boldly step out of your bed with the quiet authority of a true master of reality. There will be absolutely no more endless anxiety gnawing at your peaceful chest when you start your busy day. When the toxic people from your painful past try to look at you, they will be completely blinded. They cannot access your new timeline. Heaven has permanently encrypted your spiritual coordinates, so the narcissistic abusers can never track your beautiful soul again. You are entirely safe in this high frequency, and they can never pull you down again. God is intensely proud of your incredible silent endurance. You never gave up. You kept your beautiful heart pure. Even when the cruel world gave you every logical reason to become incredibly bitter and totally cold, you bravely chose radical, unconditional love. That is your ultimate cosmic victory, and heaven is wildly celebrating your beautiful name today. May the Supreme Creator deeply bless your every single step today. May your earthly finances multiply rapidly without any heavy struggle. May your tired physical body be fully restored to absolute perfect health right now. You have officially entered the most abundant and glorious season your entire family bloodline has ever witnessed in human history. Remember exactly who you truly are from this exact moment forward. You are a powerful weapon of light. You are the chosen one. Go out into the dark world and boldly conquer your righteous territory, because the Creator of the universe is fighting right beside you. The brutal war is already won, and your glorious reign begins today.